You are chosen. All of us are called, but few are chosen. There are women out there abathi bangcono kunoNandi. But today, ngokutshela nge-Africa Day, ungwengabadi ungomhlabathi on behalf of amadoda. Ngizothi mina abantu besifazana abaphumelele abazima inyanga konke engena kuma accounts abo abavuka bayosebenza abantu babebuka emumva bathi oh ngumuntu wesifazana opelethi ingane but ngiya-understand ofuna ngisebenze. So we are proud of you. In the Bible, so you are the one of mangibuka uLira, ngibuka uThembisiyede, ngibuka uNandi Madida, uThandiswa Mazwai, Andile, ngibe ngithi my God, Thixo umuhle. Ilembe uNandi mase nganyakaza because mokhuluma ngokuthi umthaniya uMasibiya izwe lakwaZulu owagana ujama kwazala usenza ngakhona ukhipha ushaka uyayiphekela khona. So Nandi, well done.
Yeah.
A bad Twitter or a negative Twitter, a positive Twitter, ayishintsha ukuthi who you are.
Ngiyabonga kakhulu. But with that said as well, there's a history.
Yes.
And this is what we need to unlock. You know, on the phone call, being it, yo, I'm excited. I'm planned. I'm jealous. Like when you know Mazuza Ken, it's in Amklanje. Yo. I'm so excited. And I'll tell you why. Yes, even those, I mean, it's beyond Twitter. But like you were saying, how, for example, my daughter, these days, maybe against us and whatever, that all comes from 1652. So I'm going to fast forward quickly.
What 1652 was?
1652 big lands. And you have to, the whole time, and I'm speaking to all the viewers, guys, please keep comparing before 1652, post 1652. Already imagine that. We have nuclear families. And when I mean nuclear, kono baba, kono ma. There's structure, whether it's temple, whether it's, wife, husband, kono structure. We've got huts. We've got vast land. The social distancing we've been doing before.
Sure.
There's no hungry person in challenges unheard of. Why? Because the soil makes you food. There is not one person, even the laziest of people. It's okay. Everyone has food.
Yes.
Everyone is fine. No one has to buy their food. It's 1652. Post. So I'm going to fast forward quickly. Then there's the Land Act and Group Areas Act. No?
Sure.
With that, now you have to understand, Tina, as a bantu bamnyama, the soil is so important for us. Not only for ukudla, which we're getting for free. No one had to worry about, okay, kusasa, how am I going to afford ipap or whatever. There was no such. But also, from a psychological perspective, the concept of ghetto, that concept was created in Europe, called the ghettos that they put in with Amajuda. Now, we learned this in history. Brought here because what they'd done is they experimented on rats. These rats were in vast land, whatever, and then they put them in a cage together, very tight cage, and saw how their behavior would change. And they lost it. So Tina, we got moved from Emakaya, living in rural, beautiful, vast land with our own cows and to then tight conditions called the ghettos. They were also called native reserves.
Yes.
To frustrate a people and literally take everything that they are about. Because nature, I'm sure you know this. For example, in Makai, if you go outside, like, if you feel a sense of calm. You can't explain it, CJ. You know we are now. That whole, already you just feel calm. You can't explain it. And the fact that also there's discipline without you even forcing it, because angeke uzovuka ngabo 3 or 4 ekseni Because you have to sustain yourself. So already God has created time, created you respecting nature, created the fact that you respect one another, that you're not on top of each other, that you have vast land, that nyajabula nje. You've seen how abantu emakhaya, okay, nje, yabo? So that land area, so the Group Areas Act happens, the Land Act happens. Now we all, a lot of us, majority as abantu bamnyama, we now, in the ghetto. Now we've never been in this situation. It's frustrating, and on top of that, this land there's nothing. Loads of basically. So you these small houses that have been made for you, 2 room, 4 room, but also you cannot make any food and you have to buy food.
Sure.
Stores are not owned by you.
Hey.
That's the system. But I'm so then the engineer of the system, because there's been many before him, and his name is Hendrik Verwoerd.
Sure.
He was cum laude in sociology and psychology. That's your behavior and your mind. He was top of class with that, and he was a professor as well in that. He was the guy who engineered social engineering for Abantu Bamnyama. Came from Dutch, came here and understood what it means to engineer the mind, right? There was 3 factions. One faction was one, I think it's called Bus, something like that, where they would include just Umuntu Omnyama to work in the economy, but it would benefit the Afrikaner. There was the other one, the purists. This is National Party, who would exclude you completely and wanted you to make your own, when we're in our own different sections, own economy, own food. And then Ufebud wanted both. So where you will forever be working for these companies that don't belong to you as Umuntu Omnyama. Right.
Sure.
Now, then there's the Mine Workers Act, which then divides us. Ubaba is no longer around. He has to go to Joburg to mine. What does that do for the family structure? While he's there in Joburg, he's going to meet other people. Whenever you become a single mother, they then reap those structures. Now you have nothing. You're alone. Now we hate each other.
Sure.
As black men and women. Because the black man doesn't want to take responsibility anymore. Listen, we're all victims of this. I'm not speaking as if I don't. We are all victims of the system, because when as Umuntu Omnyama, you have been a victim of the system. A black man wants nothing all of a sudden, not like previously, pre-1652, where he would take on the role as Ubaba.
Sure, that is true. Yeah.
There was no such thing as a single-headed household. In Duna, we had beautiful structures. No?
Sure.
Then also, Umama then is left alone, has no support, no financial support. This happens both in South Africa and the diaspora, where there's slavery. So America has the same thing, the Caribbean has the same thing. This is all not been engineered, but we think this is a coincidence. If you go, for example, in the suburbs, Abelungu, generally, Konomando Baba, the structure, guaranteed job, they're fine. We think it's a coincidence that we can't stand one another. Ubaba wants no responsibility, wants nothing to do with Ingane. Now we're in jail, frustrated on your own, we are panned, and trying to make things, make ends meet rather for Inganza. We all think that's, but there's a guy called Hendrik Verwoerd who's understands sociology and psychology and understood the mind of a black man. And then there was a Steve Biko trying to do otherwise, right?
Sure.
So while he's doing this, he says, hey, Lababandu, they're too powerful. Ne? We need to somehow show Uguti they only want the basic jobs. So almost to self-inflict pain on themselves, we need to engineer them, right? So that they work for Ubas and they forever see that as their legacy. Only better. We don't want them inspiring or aspiring to more, right?
Sure.
So that happens. In Bantu education, of course, he enforced that as well.
Yeah, sure.
The law of Bantu education, form of education, rather, to ensure, again, you have basal gym. So when you see violence, all of a sudden we start hating each other. Look, you see violence. People do things they never did before. And we are born, even like, obviously, Emakaya things have changed. But you can see, for example, how Emakaya things aren't as violent, for example, as a Lokshin. So when people say, hey, I can't wait to be in the suburbs, listen, black child, African child first. The whole thing is yours.
Sure.
Suburbs, the whole thing is yours. But we were forced. Absolutely. Why I speak of that is that when then you speak positively, it triggers someone. When you say, guys, we can do this. Guys, because the system is not for us. It triggers because when you're putting a mirror and saying we deserve better, we have been conditioned for 400 years to think that we don't deserve any better. I'm not 18, I'm not 25, I'm not 23. I've done that. I get nothing from sharing that advice. But my passion for umuntu omnyama is beyond that. I could have kept quiet about that, But the amount of responses I got from people saying, yo, Nandi, and you spoke about atonement that I can change my life, Nyabonga. I've been going through this. I don't want to say people's stories. And thank you for that. But again, we need to be aware of the system that lets us know to be not supposed to be anything great. Myself included, still does not work for, I have my own company, but most of my income comes from working for these companies that you're not doing.
Sure.
So as we're busy fighting one another, we're making Hendrik for good happy because here's this divide and rule. They're distracting.
Sis Nandi, if ukhuluma suka emakhaya and then the system eyenziwa yenzela ukuthi ama ufike edolobheni kube khona forum so that ungaphindile ekhaya mose Soweto akwazi ukuphindile ekhaya baqeda that family babona ukuthi sibumbene siyayithanda siyaseka siyalima ubhatata wethu amadumba wethu ubhontshisi wethu umdino wethu so asibathathe labantu kube ngathi ama-farm awethu ngoba obukhuluma badadisha umqondo. Okay, it's fine. Mina as uyan I'll call them because they are used to ukuthi babe semasimini. Let them come here. Uzobanika ama-position engibona ukuthi bangcono ekulimeni uzoba indukuna olomane ngibanikeza amagama athile you're earning better than them and then you become impimpi uba-check ukuthi banjani and then you uyeka amasimo akho ekhaya and then you rent to eThekwini nase-Johannesburg badivide basilimaza and then abanye they thought bangcono kunabanye. Very true, very powerful. And then you have now the system where the leader of the EFF, Julius Malema, saying we need our land back. And then if I don't know Uzakele or Sibiya Benolinda, abanalo farm or abalimi or abana mushrooms and but ukhuluma point kunobhala ukuthi Linda no Nandi, this is very painful and steep. And then you find what USPA or UTOPS that will be open on Monday. Our black brothers and sisters, bazoba queue before Uchwala, and UTOPS owner Akame, and then they are okay, they are excited. The shops that are operating right now is Woolies, Pick and Pay, and then it's Akame. And then when you buy from Woolies, you think you are better than the person Ochenga from Shakers.
Shakers, yeah.
And then if you look at the business model, you can see what they say LSM 124 for Upox, but that shop. And then Shakers at LSM 4 to 6 and Pick and Pay, not to Petanga, go Petanyana, and then LSM 8 to 15, that is Woolies. Now it's Woolies. To you, sis. Because unandi ukhulumile and then lezi zinto ama-till kwezitolo abantu abamnyama basha ama-tills abadrava ukudla bezokudeliver kumuntu omnyama umane ngaphathi induna umuntu omnyama and Oppenheimer uRupert moya Standard Bank or FNB you will never get anything because when umuntu omnyama ungayitholi imali oqala ibhizinisi get imali okuthenga imoto And then when it comes to a bond, no, we mustn't give it to you because when you have to belong to a Soweto Emlazi Kwamashu and Siyazama Siyavela, Bavelo Nandi, Bavelo Linda, Bavelo Nabanye. Labo bangemuva senza kanjani ngomhlaba lo onone kanje wethu okunansime.
Yes, Linda. We use these platforms. So we ensure our power and get it in the media industry. We use the platforms wisely. Yes, kumnandi nami ngithanda ukubonga and ngibe muhle and but there's a balance. You know, there's a real balance because we have real issues.
Sure.
Yeah, so we use our platforms. If you're in business, use that platform. If you're in media, use that platform as umuntu omnyama. Let's not be caught in being frivolous. Hence why my tweets, and I think because I'm a media personality and typically we'll talk about like, yo guys, I got my new, or my boots and whatever. But now I cannot pretend I'm not seeing the issues here. And also even that narrative of like giving stuff and doing selfies when, guys, we need to see real change.
Sure.
You get what I'm saying?
Sure.
And so we need to use these platforms because as well, something was said, you know, a lot. Value and privilege. Now I want to explain to you something. Yes, Baba Mutogotelo no Mawam is in law. Yeah. If we call one generation, because at the end of the day, they come from Makai and they were in poverty, and from education, then became something of themselves. If we call one generation of somewhat privileged, already Abafu would have won.
Sure.
Because 400 years in one generation, if you're saying that's privilege, as in if Ubaba, for example, did something and got fired while we were still kids, we have nothing. That's our interpretation of privilege. So this thing of saying, because we've been conditioned, and it's like I'm saying, the bare minimum.
Yes.
So privilege. If Ubaba is better, there's nothing. That's not privilege, guys. Privilege is generational wealth that we have and that we deserve. That is privilege.
Come on.
Privilege is not me taking a photo of Ijazi or whatever. It's when from 500 years' time, my kids can say, hey, Yazuma, or Koko, or whoever had this. That's privilege.
Sure.
So even that, we have been conditioned to not think we deserve the best.
Sure.
You know? And I was so happy to speak on this because, I'm so happy that the reaction came. A lot of people got it. But I was so happy because it's been stuff that I've been speaking about on Twitter, like unemployment, because that's a huge thing for me. But I was happy that this happened because so many other social issues were spoken about, especially about our youth. Can you imagine Liam Zanzi, kids who are fighting for free education, and they're the ones being attacked.
Yeah.
And people like criminals, and I'm not saying anything against, obviously you can change your life, but you get what I'm saying, where you have so many rights, and it's so unfair. There are so many kids out there who, the system, no matter how much you're trying, is against it. That's why I was saying, Uguti, black child, in code, and those who got it, Uguti, please don't waste your years. Because now I'm going to multiracial school. In high school was the best way. They'd ask us, okay, guys, what do you do for holiday? And I'd be like, I was with Ugogo and my other friends, about Tiffany, about Stacey, so we came back from Italy, and I can tell you Thailand is really Did you have? Italy? They have these amazing dumplings and Another reality was once we all finished high school, how even if Stacey got 300 subs and failed right, left, and center, there was always a job waiting for her.
That is true, man. That's good, man.
No, it is. And you can think you like Stacey and do whatever you want and waste your parents' money. That's all the money they have because the system is not conducive for you. But I'm telling you now, there's no job waiting for any of us.
Sure.
There's no job waiting. My dad doesn't own a hospital.
Sure.
My voice is a doctor. Yes, that's great. But he doesn't own it. You get what I'm saying? So what I'm trying to say is that no black person, we don't own any of these things. So when you think you can waste time, the system gets happier. You know what I'm saying? Because we can't afford to, because no one is waiting. There are kids who are getting distinctions, like I said, doing amazing, who are unemployed. That is the weird. But I'm telling you now, where I grew up in Durban, North Mhlanga, there's no one who's unemployed.
So,
all of them, and I'm talking about the other side. Those guys who went to school with. All of them were guaranteed jobs. Why? Because their dad owns the bank. Because the dad owns the restaurant. Because the dad owns that brand. So when I go to Pigger now and say, yeah, I can do the same. And so that's all I'm saying. Yes, you can change your life. That's all. But I was trying to save a lot of the younger group who I love so much. And I was speaking about my staff, because I speak to my staff about I have a brilliant staff, by the way. Staff who are very young and motivated. And I was saying, guys, you're the future. For example, I don't know if Yama's who can say she won Project Runway. So she did a collection for Project Runway South Africa. Before she won Project Runway, she was working for me for color, for the collection. And as you can say, a girl from Northwest, like humble beginnings, but so focused. Am I sure she won Project Runway? Never. We had other young people, but that girl, you know what I'm saying? And that's what I was trying to say. Uguti, people like that, guys, because the system valid doesn't like us. It's not for us. Please, let us try to be as focused. Yes, you're young, you're allowed to be rebellious, but please don't lose focus of the fact that there's no job waiting for you. You're not Stacy. And
there's a question.
Change.
Kunembuzo khona, umbuzo omunye wami uthi Mrs. Sibiya, uSis Nandi ukhuluma kakhulu and ukhuluma iqiniso and ngiyakhala right now. Peter is a friend of mine. Ngicela ukubuza ukuthi these young women, this is it. Labantu besifazana abancane who are collecting money from SASSA. Ngale ukuthi baphinde bamgxeke uNandi. Uthi these young women, ingane encane amantombazana, bathole ingane bese bancane. So senza kanjani ukuthi siba uba motivate? You've done well for yourself. When it comes to radio and television, I tell people ukuthi uma ungibuza nge-radio, I can give you answers at any time. You've done well. But there's a young woman out there okubukayo othi wow, one day akafuthi wena, she wants to run her own race. Enze njani? She's demotivated. Omunye kuhlala ngithi angibagcike umuntu othola ingane esemncane, but what engigxekayo ngigxeka uma eselala ukuthi oyalale ukuthi wenze that thing. You must wake up with it and then run your race. But if someone osibuka manje uqala ibhizinisi, this young to say I want to be la khona uNandi ngoba ngesizulu uthi umuntu besempini ephezulu uthi uyajabula wena usulapho, but we are coming, we are behind you.
I'm a product of a mother who had a kid at a very young age. I think all of our parents, in fact. Uzakela, same thing. His mom, was 7 in my kitchen. My mom as well was 22, came back from Forte, was pregnant with my brother. It's never too late to change your narrative. I use 2 examples because a lot of people know them. Oprah Winfrey said it herself. As a teenager, she was rebellious.
Sure.
Maya Angelou also said at 17 she had a kid. People forget that backstory. But she decided at some point to change her narrative, to own her life. And that's what I was saying. But it starts with atonement. So what I'm saying, atonement is important. Ogoti, own it. Yeah, okay, I messed up. We all mess up.
Sure.
Shut.
Come on. Yeah.
So okay, we're all human, everyone,
Sure.
Hey, all of us, trust me.
Yay.
Hey, definitely. All of us. But the beautiful thing is to own it and say, okay, I've messed up, but what can I do to change my narrative? Because in fact, that mess up you think is such a mess up will be your story and inspire the next person, and it will be so powerful.
Sure.
You get what I'm saying? To
Yeah.
that woman out there, that beautiful woman out there who thinks, oh, yeah, when I get mine, I've disappointed my parents. No. Own your story. Be honest as well. Go to them and say, listen, yeah, I messed up. Because yes, you did tell me, yes, you know, but I'm going to own this and I'm going to make it a blessing. Oprah and Maya, two of the most inspirational people around the world.
Sure.
We're rebels.
Yeah. Come on.
I also tell you, you know, I was just saying, Linda, you know, I was saying, I'd be so irresponsible. You know, I would never raise my kids and say, guys, then once you matriculate, just be a rebel. It's cutting, and then at 30, then try. And you know why I'm saying that? Because you get people, and it's my time to close up and be careful of friends, This thing of friends. Be careful who your friends are. Because I even saw it on Twitter where, you know, those friends with my right bond. Do whatever you want. But for their lives, they make sure they're fine. Be very, very careful of even, you get parents who are like that. To their kids, they're telling other advice, and then they're saying, when you're going to be fine. But for their kids, they're telling their kids, when I was a founder, was a whatever, you get what I'm saying? And because I'm a mom at the end of the day, yes, I'm a so-called celebrity or media person, but I'm a man. And I can't, because my kid, and like we used to do as a band, your kid or the next kid is still your kid. Whether it's my blood or not.
Come on.
So it is my role as umama to ensure Tina as the youth, that they get the right advice. Because I promise you now, I'm not going to tell Ushaga, Tandazo, or for example, I was speaking to my stepson, Uwaki, I was speaking to him a lot. I love him so much. And his mom, we always say how much of a team we need to be. I'm never telling him wrong stuff. So why should I be telling people on social media to do whatever they want to do?
Wow.
It is selfish. We are a community. So let's rig each other, let's get each other going and say, Buffett, we can do this.
But Africa Day, what can you say to women about a PhD? Pull him, PhD, pull him down, the syndrome, if I'm a manager, I'm 17, I'm show this young girl, I'm here. If you're beautiful and then I'm in power, let me show you who I am. Sometimes one woman, a friend of mine, said, no, sometimes it's about this father because my straight talkers. If no, I don't like that. That is yellow to me. To you, maybe it's white, but to me, it's yellow. And that's what I communicate. But this bazane. Lava abacabanayo, lava gossipanayo, lava bahlibana man. And if you are around with threat, and then by threat, and then until abasak dingi, and then this young woman, a reporter, Mina, I've been in this company for 10 years, for 20 years.
You are a victim of the system, and you are making people like Aboyan van Riebeck, Nabofofot very happy wherever they are. You are truly a victim, because if you feel the need to break down your fellow sister, you are the problem as well. And you might not even know you're the problem. This is what I'm speaking about, because this is not saying, now go right, now go wrong. It's saying, okay, sharp, we are in this situation. They know what they've created. We are all victims. So, okay. No, there's no one who's like, no, yeah, we're not right. No. So if, in some ways where, for example, if you have to undermine a fellow sister, it's because you are a victim of the system.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? So that's all it is. Yeah. It's not... We're a victim. That's it.
We are young and then you're married. And there are couples out there.
Sure.
I think about ingredients. Or 70.
Oh, yeah, when I get that one. And there is no ingredients. But you know.
I hope sex will not this thing, man.
Luckily not. Yeah, my gosh. But and it's his birthday tomorrow, 48. Anyway.
Yeah, 40 boy.
truly and honestly, there's no ingredients. And I'll tell you why. I mean, a lot of people think someone was saying on Twitter, hey, but I tried it Twitter. I like engaging, so I like Twitter. But someone was saying, well, guys, Nandi, if she thought she was too privileged, she wouldn't be married to Zex. Zex is the better kid.
Oh my God.
But
you wasting my time.
He still did not. You wasting, meaning he's not wasting, but we still debate. Hey, wasting me, nah. To be honest,
you're wrong.
But can I be honest? There's no ingredients. There really isn't. I mean, for example, we typically come from two completely different backgrounds. But when I like to call him Muzakel, he's such a loving man. He's all over the place. But one thing, he has such a beautiful heart. And I think with that you can navigate. Because, of course, you have arguments. Of course, you have arguments. Even going for counseling, But Tinag, I've been fortunate enough is that it's never been serious things, where it's like, it's for now. Because remember, it's long. We still in.
Life begins at 40.
Yeah.
Yes.
What's this midlife crisis? So what about me? But for now, I can tell you, it's love. And I have a love for him, Mutando. But that raw one. And there's no, like I said, there's no formula. As well as Tina, we never wanted to be like goals or whatever. And I remember Zakele saying, can we not make this relationship our career? Can we have this relationship be a relationship? Let's not make this about, you get what I'm saying? And I thought that was powerful. This is just a relationship. Let's not drive this for career's sake. And I think that's the authenticity of it. But if I had to tell people, we're just real, man. Like, and even sees me, and it's so funny, Zakele always says, if only they knew. Like, sees me as like, yes, I'll get right tonight. Hey, at the end of the day, I've got my... Yeah, when I can. So he's actually the one who's way more chilled, But people see this the other way. They think they think he's the guy who's gonna be, who's like, But it's funny. It's actually the other way around. But we accommodate each other. We really do. But we still newish. We're 7 years, so almost 10. 4 years married. But then we still fresh. But hey, man, we take each day, and we love each other.
There was a question that was asked to Marjorie, the wife of Steve Harvey.
Sure.
She said,
"She supports me." Shout out to Marjorie. She's a good one.
Yeah. so that question, Uguti, why Steve Harvey? Why does Steve Harvey make ubeka isigalana and amasokisi lana share everything lana ekishini and Steve Harvey yes, I've hired people to work in this family. So what is the problem?
And I'm man, and that's the same responses I can give you. And I think also what's important, funny enough, like Marjorie, by the way, supported my fashion label, so I just want to give her a huge shout out. But Marjorie Harvey, she's a beautiful soul. But and she's amazing. But I was saying, like Marjorie and Steve, funny enough, we also created family.
Wow.
And you can only be real. Like I was just, for example, speaking to my stepson who's cool now, he's a teenager. And what's that? And we speak about real things and navigating, because you can only be real. So even that, in the fact that, we're not maybe like your traditional family, but we can only be real. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
There's all those dynamics, but I think that's important that as long as it comes from love, and there's lots of discipline, there's lots of time where you're like, you know, but
Sure.
we're just real, man. We respect each other and we love each other, and I think that's the most important thing.
Yile A1 also I wish I would we achieve it at this age. Or no, this one's Sibiya. Sabona ukuthi uyadlala kumabona ukuthi sabona uyapresent sabona but le A1 ethi uNandi Madida, this one's Sibiya.
Oof, what a great question. Hey, legend of radio. I feel you. Hey, I'm on that side.
A1.
But you know, I was gonna say that I did a live, like an amazing project. I was in LA this past December, amazing project. That unfortunately I can't speak about it. And I was gonna say that, and then I thought, no, actually no. The most, for me, what I would love is, because you don't know when you're gonna go. Nah? I could go tomorrow, it could be today. For me, what I would like to achieve is for people to bury me one day and say, what an amazing human being.
Wow.
Truly and
Wow.
honestly.
Wow.
You know, in our industry, we have a lot of people who turn the lights on for the public, but when they get home, they're not happy with the stuff they've had to do to either, whether it's getting there or the person they really are. So a lot of people buy into who they are when we all know who they really are. You know,
Sure.
I never want, I want that consistency where people say, yeah, Nandi, the Nandi you saw on TV, that one with the like spa, where it's, you know, I'm Nandi. But, yay, same person. But same person.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
No? But same person. You know, I mean,
Sure.
she makes you feel good. You know, that's what I want. That when I die one day, people say, yo, but what an amazing human being. And that's it, because there's so many people who get this career thing, but life is not about career. It's an
Sure.
aspect of career. And that's what even the same people, I can tell you for free, even those who've colonized us and whatever. I mean, growing up in Durban, I remember I used to be like, yo, but why are these people so miserable, man? You've got like 5 cars, a house in London, a house here, but you still young naga, and you still,
Yeah, sure.
You making too much noise. And it's like, yo, listen, if I had 100 houses, 400 years of wealth, I'm going to be here with it. I don't have time to. So, but remember, it's the way you got it. That's why Nkulunkulu is so important.
Sure.
Because the way you've gotten what you have will haunt you forever. Whether you got it from your sweat or you got it from blood, but it's there. And at night when you sleep, doesn't matter what people think. People can think, hey, you know your truth. So this thing of career is just a facade. You know? It's a facade. There's more to you than your career.
Sure. I have only 10 minutes with you left.
Oh, my God.
Where do you think Siyagupi as a country, what do you think is South Africa from Cyril Ramaphosa, our president, ministers, or I'll say the cabinet, the mayors, provinces, premiers, etc., etc. There is a hope for a black child in Mzansi. There is a hope. Unandi Mehamba, are you scared? There's a friend of mine, I think he's watching, I'm not going to mention his name. But each and every day he tells me, I'm a hustler. I don't sleep at night. I work for my 2 girls. Sibiya, I want to make money and have my farm here and in T. He started. And Sibiya, but I'm going to New York. I don't care what you say. What do you think of his other? No, it's fine. But I want to just go for 10 years or 20 years or 30 years. I want my 2 daughters, not just South Africa. So the education system, and then, economy. I was interviewing Uzi, the black economy, the black township economy, Hambaganjani.
Freedom, yes.
You know,
Yeah.
so if you saying Nandi, are you fine? Are you comfortable about South Africa? Are we okay? Are we in the right direction? President, are we okay? Are we going in the right direction?
You know, sadly, and I think that's why I even panicked after Blood and Water started tweeting. Because please don't waste Julius. You know, sadly, for the majority not, and I'll tell you why. Because it hasn't clicked for us.
Sure.
There has been no truth. There's no truth in this country. We were told, I remember I went to multiracial school in 1994. They said, okay, everyone start holding hands and say, South Africa, we love you. And you held hands and you thought everything would be fine. But then further on, you realize, no, we're not all the same.
Come on.
We've been forced.
Come on.
So we haven't gone into the real topics and sorted things out properly to really be free. So we have a long way to go to this freedom because no one wants to tell the truth. And of course, because if you talk the truth, are you sure? Do you still want your... Oh, because now I'm not going in. Now I've got kids.
Yeah, sure.
We know the truth. Is this freedom? Gambel, is this really freedom?
There will be a day the majority of Kulmangayo Eobelisuge from Alexandra to Sentin. Isuge Nanda Wamashu Ingene Mshanga. It's no. We don't care if we die on our way to Mshanga, we are coming. From Soweto to Sentin to Houghton. Yeah, Nati, we want to stay here. Abaya bazikangcono bathi umuntu oshupekile uzohlupheka kakhulu onemali uzoba nemali kakhulu. Do you believe in that?
You know what? We need to unite in truth. Because if you don't, what we want to all avoid is bloodshed. You don't want bloodshed. We need to find a way to address these issues and now. So that we can all live in harmony, but genuinely. Not at the expense of umama who cannot afford even amasogis. That's not living in harmony.
Sure.
At the expense of someone else. That's not harmony. It needs to be harmonious, but it needs to be honest. And there need to not be agendas. Political agendas as well. Let's not exploit people and say, we'll give you this because you want this.
Come on.
It needs to be genuine. But the narrative needs to come within us. So let's not attack one another. Let's be united and understand the system and why we are where we are.
Wow. Nandi, thank you so much. But umkhwenyana wako is a brother. Is more than a friend. Is a brother. And every time, kolakuthiwa ushunguza impepho or ubeka isinemfu or uyathandaza. Ngihlala ngithi every day umuntu mayivukuvukane ukuthi ufuna i-support from the wife. Sengathi umbelinqangi nengilosi yakho njalo ngakunikeza ubuchopho i-wisdom to support him, to love him and make sure ukuthi ukushayina kwakhe on stage sibona kukuhle. And also when I see manginayo ngihlala ngithi but it's a right? I said, yeah, we were together. We were talking about you. I said to him, you are privileged, and then you are one of a kind. Ogoti, every night, even if you can go to Durban and come back and be with your wife, but there are men out there, Abakshali Shom, Ogoti, you are sleeping to an intelligent and a loving woman who loves you and all standing on his back. And I said to him, if you can take that as a man, God, because since he put the industry sikuyona sicabanga ukuthi eyana umbani kanti singababaningi kuyona but bancane abakhethiwe. So umthandazo Nkosi sikelele Africa, Nkosi akasikelele le family yakwa Madida ukuthi when uZex ehamba ekubuka athi ngiyabonga ukuthi ungowami, and uma evuka ekuseni ehamba uthi Zex ngiyabonga ukuthi ngowami, not for abazali bami, not for izwe, but ngowami, because uZex uyamazi mayikhathele, uyamazi stress, uyamazi ungahambi kahle. uZex uyakwazi more stressed, uyakwazi ungahambi kahle, uyakwazi ukukhala. Uma ingasekho i-makeup, ingasekho ipiano yakhe, ingasekho everything, when you're with him, ukwazi the real you, nawe uwazi uZex, uwazi uzakhele wangempela ukuthi lo ubani. So it's an honor to me ukuthi ngikhulume nawe nabantu abathumela imibuzo. Lento engiyishoyo khona umuntu othina kumina, Linda, lo sisi muhle engena weave, muhle eMafrika, muhle enjeya, and simthanda enjeyana. So you must know ukuthi ukubiza kwami lana ngibiza ngabhekose ngazi uzakhele is because into oyenzayo mangibuka i-advert noma ngizwa abantu bekhuluma ngawe kuyangijabulisa. Ngihlala ngitshela abantu ngithi ayikho into engijabulisa, angithandi ukuzwa kukhulunywa ngomuntu izinto eziwu-10 ezipositive, ngiyayithanda ukuzwa izinto eziwu-2 ezinegative, ebese ngiyahlehla ngibheka ukuthi why are you saying these things, ebese ngithi oh, it's because imoto ehambayo ikhonkotha izinja, but imoto emile inkukhu nezinja zihlala ngaphansi kwazo zifuna umthunzi. So well done oyingane, well done for umsebenzi owenzayo. So every day wayimisela, and then we are proud as amadoda eSouth Africa bakhona abantu abanjengawe. And umlando wazi as a woman, there are few women ababona isikhathi ngono 1652 what happened, wayigcine the skin esikoleni, but when you are ibheka and then again you converse and then you engage abantu and then usho ukuthi no, this is where mina ngicabanga khona sengilama nje ngokomqondo, and then thina njengabantu yini esingayenza. It's important ukuthi sikwenze.
Balekile kakhulu, yeah.
So thank you so much. Yeah.
It's great.
Ngiyajabula, ngiyabonga. And again,
this is why you are Mr. Magic the Legend. No ads. No ads.
And tomorrow birthday ka-Zex, ngitshela amagama akuyena amathathu. Ukuthi one, God discovered him. And umtshela angazi bafundisi noma bengangibuka abathini, uma wakhe la khona uyajabula ngaye. Umtshela ukuthi ukhethiwe, and indoda, there are 3 things ifuna iyenze regardless ukuthi wenzakalani empilweni yayo. Indoda must protect the woman, protect the family. Number 2, indoda must provide for a family. And okugcina, indoda must love unkosikazi wayo. uZex must love you, akunakekele, even a week abekhona. And sure, noma ngane ezu-10, you don't have a problem.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I love you guys.
Thanks to everyone, ngiyabonga, and more than anything, bafethu, please, whether we are single-headed households, nuclear, mom, dad, brother, sister, aunt, mamncane, whatever, let's please be united. Let's support one another. That father who doesn't want to be active, maybe try. That mother who's not letting him try. Bafethu, this was a system. Let's please be united for our kids. Let them flourish. That's the future.
Sure.
You guys are the future, and I'm so excited to see you change this narrative. Yabo.
Thank you. It's an honor, sis. Wow. Guys, this is powerful.